Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being here. Trade with J Flores. Today's Sunday. We're going to do some pair analysis for the market. December is normally a slower month as far as volatility, but there's some opportunities in the market always. So we're going to check the markets. Last week we were looking at let's see. Let's go all the way to a daily. We're looking at the USD CHF, and I think I got rid of some of the markups that I had, right? Yeah, I got rid of them. Anyways, for this market, I'm gonna do the real quick analysis, okay? So you can so we can get a kind of bias for the week. And I normally start from the, if it's not very clear in the daily, I can quickly just go to the weekly. So we can get looking for a pattern or a trend line. And for example, right now, I know we're having this resistance right there from weekly for a long time, right there. And then the last move that I see is this move right there, right? It's pretty clear. So let's go. Sometimes you can identify it on the daily quick, or sometimes if you got to go to the weekly to identify it, you can do that. So there's the daily, and we can mark up that pattern right there. It's kind of squeezing right there. We'll put another one right there. Okay, I'm doing a nice neat job right there. So boom. Okay, so that's what we're looking in the daily. We had an impulse, and now the market it's doing a sideways pattern. We can call it a triangular pattern, a wedge, whatever you call it. I guess the name is not important as long as you identify the pattern. So you're in between those two trend lines right there, the one coming down, one coming up. That creates a triangle, automatic or triangular pattern. Let's go to the 4 hour. And we know we're in those, right now we're in those two boundaries. And I always like to look at the previous swing in this time frame. So we had a swing, and then we had another swing coming down, rebounded from that trend line. And now we are in this sideways move right there. Let's go to the 1 hour so we can look closer to this area. Okay, this is where we are. Okay, and last week I predicted this move. You can go and see the video from last week. I was telling that I was expecting the market to do this. We were right here, and oops, sorry about that. Let me get rid of that. And I was expecting the market to do this. And I said the market can go anywhere in this area right there, in this resistance support area, all this area, and that's exactly what the market did. Very close to that. So that came true. That was a good prediction right there, but we're still in a sideways move. Okay, so now the market came here, and to know where the market can possibly go, you know, like I said, the market is correcting. It's probably going to be like this for the rest of the month in December. So what I would do in the month of December, when there's less volatility, I would definitely go to lower time frames to do some scalping maybe, or short trades. And what I would do in this case, I normally go maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes and look for the trend, right, for some scalping. And that was a trend right then, that it was broken already last week to the top. So trend, that's a trend. Then I will go to the 15 minutes, and now we're in this smaller trend in the 15 minute. So right now the way I trade, this is my trend line, because I normally go to the highest point of that moment, and then I go back to the previous low. That's where I connect from the origin of the movement to that previous low, and that's my trend. If this breaks, if this high breaks to the top, let's say excuse me, let's say this breaks to the top, now we're gonna have a new high, right? New highs. Then let me draw it so you can picture what I'm saying. Let's say that this thing goes like breaks, just an example, then it breaks like that, and now we have the price right here. Then I will move my trend line to the previous recent low of that trend line, and that will be my new trend line right there. Okay, so let me get rid of all this again. Well, not a trend line, but I'm gonna leave it right there. This is my previous low right now, and until this is break up, then I'm gonna move my trend line. But that's a good prediction right there. For example, the market breaks, wait for a retest in the 15 minutes, and then you can start riding that trend. Okay, that's a good way to trade, especially now with low volatility trades. So that prediction last week worked out real good, and let's look at the other ones. I was telling you guys about the Mexican peso. Check it out. Okay, last week I was right there, exactly where I put the cross, this big cross right there. You can see we're right there, and the market did rebound from this support, and then the market came down again. So what are we going to do now? I'm going to move this trend right there, because I'm not even know if you have a new low. Let me go to the 4-hour. You can see that was the previous low last week. Now we have a new low. Market went up, and then it jumped down, right? All the way down. So now we have a new low. So let me get rid of everything so we can mark everything again. So, and what do we got on the weekly? Weekly, we see the big pattern, the giant pattern, the most recent pattern. You can see it good here. Probably going to be seen better in a daily. Yeah, there it is. So the most recent bottom will be right there. So my trend line will be exactly right here for now. Right there. Why is that? Because this is the last high low that before this high was broken to the top. Okay, so that's why trend lines, it's my daily trend line anyways, is where it is. We're still counting. We still have this strong support right there, and looks like the market's already started reacting to that support. Okay, and I think we're in a better shape than last week, in the sense that now we have, let me get the MACDs to see if we have divergence. There it goes. Okay, that is the daily, and now I'm going to put my 4-hour trend line right here, which is right there. Okay, and in the 4-hour we have a beautiful divergence already. We have a good nice candle right there, telling us that it is very possible that we're going to start trending up. Here's where you can go to the 30-minute or even 15-minute and start looking for trades. Let's go to 15 minutes. Look how beautiful this is. We have perfect divergence. We have even Is this a double bottom? This can be counted as a double bottom. There's rules for double bottom, so yes, it looks like a double bottom. You have a divergence, and a good trade. You know, if we were pending from the markets last week, it was coming here. And the moment this breaks this high and breaks the trend line, that was a good trade to the top right there. Okay, so my advice to you is that I think the market will continue trending up at least to that 4-hour trend line as a minimum. Once we get there, then it's decision time. If the market breaks up, then we're going to start looking for buys. If the market bounce lower, it's probably going to go and visit that bigger daily trend line. All right, so that's the dollar Mexican peso. Okay, on the USD JPY, we know that I did keep the markings on this from last week. Daily trend line. I am waiting for the market to come and visit this support. It'll visit the trend line, and it will be a very good possible trade to buy if the market decides to rebound higher. Okay, from this point, if I go, does it have room to go higher? USD JPY. Well, let's look at the monthly, and we can kind of tell if we have room. In my opinion, yes. I mean, this is the most, the most important high for the last few years. So if it's this, it can go and visit that high again. But right now we're about the 50% line, so we got to be a little bit careful, because sometimes the market, I mean, keep in mind that this trend line right there, I don't have it lined up, but it was broken to the top. And even if I put the Fibonacci's right there just for confluence, where we are exactly right now at the 61.8 zone. So it's in a decision zone right there. So we're gonna wait to see. That's why we have that marking on the 4 hours. And let me get rid of this. So let's go to back to the 4 hours. We know where we are in the weekly. So the market already started rebounding from that 61.8. It started coming down, and I'm expecting the market. I'm still expecting this move right there. It already started happening. I predicted this last week. I'm gonna leave it there, and it already started happening. Okay, so if I was you, I would go to the 15-minute and start looking for entries, sell entries. As long as I'm gonna look for sell entries, as long as this high or this high, it's not being violated, meaning that it'll close higher, or it'll close higher, then no more selling for a while. Okay, but as long as this keeps rebounding down, let's use the Fibonacci right there. I'll use it from this high, and we're exactly, or it can probably go a little bit higher if it needs to meet this high over here. And then, but I'm looking for sales on USD JPY. Let's look a couple more. Euro UP. Europia had this nice trade last week. Let's look at the daily. Okay, daily, we have this pattern right there coming down, and then we had this last swing coming up in the daily. Let's go to 4 hours to see this closer. That swing right there. Now the market started channeling down from that same trend line, and it's coming down. So it's making lower lows, and it's making lower highs also. So that was a good trade also last week. Well, I took that trade. Yeah, but this trade right there, I didn't catch it in time right there. But that was a beautiful 618 trade with a trend. That was a beautiful trend right there. All kinds of confirmations. We had resistance, we have trend on different time frames. We had 61.8, we had a double top, we had a engulfing candle right there. Everything was there. Everything was there. It was a great trend. But sometimes, you can catch them all. Those are good trends right there. Look for shells. Look for shells. Definitely. I mean, there's space. Now you don't know if this is going to do one high and then start coming down, but definitely in the medium turn, it's definitely has room to come down. If we look at Fibonacci, I always look to 50% and 61.8 zones to see how far the market can travel. You already touched the 61.8, so that's why I say it looks like a shape that it can go high again and then come down. We'll see what happens. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. So you got to follow the market. Obviously, we cannot say, okay, this is the way it's going to happen all the time. Sometimes we have an idea how the market moves. Okay, this was a great trade. Look at my video last week. I did this, and I left it. And I predicted. And I don't have a crystal ball. It's just experience the way the market moves. I had that trend line for months already in my chart, the trend line. Support line. We've been looking at the market since it started rebounding from that support line. And we were looking at the possibilities for the markets to go and visit that trend line and also this resistance support zone, which is very important. And the market went all the way up there, then the market rebounded from there. And right now we're looking to see if the market is going to go up or down. You can only go one way, right? Up or down, or sometimes it takes time to go sideways. Okay, now what are we going to do? What I can do now, it's put a nice trend line in the 1 hour. Okay, this trend line is the 1 hour trend line. We got to be very clear on that. And I always go to this area right there. So right now, as we speak, use the JPY. It's just playing around that 1 hour trend line. So we're kind of in a medium swing scalping mode as we speak. So we're gonna put this zone right here, small 1 hour zone. If the market is very simple from this point, after do your analysis, breaks, comes and retests the zone, I will look for trades to the main supports. So the main support zone, that support zone is from the daily and weekly, very strong. But if the market decides to break this smaller trend line and starts going up, always wait for a little consolidation or retest of any zone right there, mainly of the trend line. Then look for trades going up to visit the next high right there. So those are the possibilities for GP, JPY. Obviously the market is now going to go in straight line, and we're drawing it right here. It can go sideways for a while, then go up or go down, but eventually will move. Well, thank you, friends. If this is the first time you're looking at this visiting this channel, please subscribe. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any pairs that you would like me to consider for next week, let me know in the comments and we'll do it. Be safe if you're going to travel this vacation time. Be safe on the roads. And I wish you guys the best, and God bless you all. See you. Hit that like notification button, by the way. I'm trying to grow this channel. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.